Hey guys, it's Miss Johnson. I'm here to bring you our notes for Unit 1 Notes 4. Today we are going to talk about making a frequency table. Yesterday we spent some time actually finding the mean of a frequency table, and today we're going to create those frequency tables. So what a frequency table is a list of classes, or in other words, intervals of values and their corresponding frequencies from a given set of data. So when we are designing a frequency table, we have to find the class width that we want to use, however wide we want that interval to be. The class width is typically the same for each class. Sometimes the very last class that you'll have will be, especially if it's talking about something like age, you might have a bunch of classes and then you get to like age 65 and up. And then that last class is a little bit longer or a little bit different, but typically the class width will be the same for each interval as you go down. So when you're making a frequency table, that's your process. You're going to decide the class width based on the data. Then you're going to tally for each interval. You're going to go across your data set and then tally inside each interval where that data falls, and then list the frequency in a frequency column. Some people skip this tally section in the middle. It's up to you. I mean, if you have a really long data set, it can be kind of hard to keep track of, but sometimes you don't necessarily need the tally section. So let's take a look at example 1. It says, at a recent chess tournament, all 10 of the participants had to fill out a form that gave their names, address, and ages. The ages of the participants were recorded as follows. So we have a list of ages there: 36, 48, 54, 92, 57, 63, 66, 76, 66, and 80. So we are going to go ahead and look at, the first thing that I like to do is look at the lowest number and the highest number. So my lowest data point appears to be 36. My highest data point appears to be 92. So when I'm going from 36 to 92, I think I'm going to split my classes by 10. You don't want to have too many classes. Like, I wouldn't necessarily label these by, or split my intervals by 5. I wouldn't split them by 2 or 3. That would give me too many intervals. Typically, the rule of thumb is that you're going to want about between 5 and 10 intervals. If you have less than 5, then your frequency table doesn't give you a whole lot of information. But if you have more than 10, then your frequency table is too big. It's too much. So, so I'm going to count by 10s here. I'm going to just say that I'm going to go 30 to 39. And then I'll go 40 to 49. 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, and then I'm at 80 to 89 and 90 to 99. That's my last my last interval there. So if I set this up as a table, I'd have the next column over. This is kind of like my age. I'll mark that with age. My next column over, I might tally in there. So I'm going to go across my data set, and I'm just going to tally. Actually, let me undo that because I might need longer than that. I'm going to go across my data set, and I'm going to tally where my data falls. So 36 falls in here, then 48 falls there, 54 falls there, 92 is down here, 57 is here, 63 is there, 66 is there, 76 is there, 66 is there, and 80 is there. So there's my tally column, and then if I actually mark the frequency, my frequency is going to just be a count of each of those tally columns. So my frequency here is 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and 1. All right, so again, this tally column in the middle, not everybody makes that. You don't have to make that necessarily. It does help you stay organized as you're going through and counting, but you don't necessarily need to have that as part of your frequency table. All right, so let's take a look at number 2. Example 2, create a frequency table. It says the number of calls of motorists per day for roadside service was recorded for the month of December 2013. So my N here is, since I'm in December of 2013, my N is going to be 31. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to look for the lowest and the highest data value. So my lowest data value appears to be 28. If I'm looking through that whole table, I don't think there's anything less than 28. Then the next, or the highest data value, I see a 194. Is that my highest one? I think that's, oh, I see a 217. So 217 appears to be my highest data value. So this is one, if I'm going from 28 all the way up to 217, this might be one that I count by 20s or even 25s. I'm going to try 25, and I'm going to start at 25. So I would go 25 to 49, and then 50 to 74. So I'm just kind of thinking in terms of quarters, and then I got to mark off the, go the one below it to start off the next interval. So 50 to 74, 75 to 99, 100 to 124, 125 to 149, 150 to 174, 175 to 199, and then 200 to 224. So that's going to give me all the intervals that I need. And this is, the label for this would be number of calls. Okay. Then the next one over, I'm going to put in my tally. So for my tally, I'm just going to go through the data set, and you can just go in order. These don't need to be listed in order. That's only when you're looking at finding measures of central tendency. But when you're doing a frequency table, you don't necessarily have to have them in order. So I'm just going to tally all the way down. 28 goes in the first one. 122 is down here. 217 is down there. 130 is here. 120 is there. 86 is here, 80 is here, 90 is here, 120 is there, 140, 70, 40, 145 is there, 187 is up higher, 113 is here, 90 is here, 68 is here, 174 is there, 194 is there, 170 is there, 100, 75, 104, 97, 75 again, 123, 100, 82, 109, 120. Hopefully you remember slashing, and 81 is our last one, slashing those groups of 5. When you get to a group of 5, you put that slash through it so that it can tell that it's a bundle. This is why I like doing the tally column, because that was a lot of data to go through. I mean, 31 data points in the broad scheme of things is not really that many, but it was still quite a bit for me to just look through with my own eyes to make this frequency table. So if I now turn this into a frequency, the top one would be a 2, that's a 2, this looks like 9, this looks like 10, 3, 2, 2, and 1. And then you can go through and you could analyze this data. You could say, what's the average? Where are my measures of central tendency? What is the mean? I could go through and calculate the mean here. I could analyze any outliers, like that 217 is pretty high. That's my highest data point, and it's the only one in its class, in its interval down here at the bottom. So, you know, what happened on that day? You know, we live in Minnesota, and this is December, so maybe there's a snowstorm of some kind on that day where lots of roadside service was needed. So there's a lot of things you could do with the frequency table once you have it created. Okay, we're going to try this one more time, and then I'll let you guys be off and running. So in example 3, we have 30 AAA batteries. So right away, you know your N is 30, which is great. did I say AAA? I meant AA. AA batteries were tested to determine how long they would last. The results to the nearest minute were recorded as follows. So there's the number of minutes that all of these AA batteries last. So again, I'm going to start by, I know my N, which is good. Now I'm going to look for the lowest value and the highest value, and that's going to help me decide my class width. So I see a 369. Here I see a 363. That might be my lowest. Yeah, I don't see anything lower than 363. So then let's look at the highest. I see a 428. Let's see if anything is higher than 428. I don't see anything. I think 428 is my highest. And you can also do this. You could get your calculator out. Took a second to find my calculator, sorry. So you could get your calculator out and subtract those two and just see how wide the whole range of the data set is. So 428 minus 363 gives me 65. So again, I think I'm gonna label my classes by 10 here because even though my data is up really high, my range is only 65. So I don't need that many intervals. I can split them by 10 and still be pretty good here. So I'm gonna start at 360 and go to 369, then 370 to 379, then 380. You want to be careful not to duplicate data. Like I'm not marking this 370 to 380, and then the next one down is 380 to 390, because then if you have a 380, which one does it fall in? And that doesn't make sense. So I want to be careful to not duplicate any of my data points. Make sure those endpoints are different in every class. So 380 to 389, 390 to 399, 400 to 409, 410 to 419, oops, 419, and then 420 to 429. There's my intervals, and this is number of minutes that the battery lasts. Then the next one over, I'm going to tally. Oh, I keep doing that. I'm not going to put my end one in until I know how much space I need. All right, so let's go through our list. So 423, it's up at the top here. 369 down at the bottom, 387, 411, 393, 394, 371, 377, 389, 409, 392, 408, 431. Oh, you guys, I missed an interval. I need to go one more. 430 to 439. Those of you that caught that before, good job catching my mistake. But here I am, I caught my own mistake and added an interval. Whoops, it's all right. We're still less than 10. What do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 intervals. Yeah, I'm good. If you have more than 10 intervals, then things get pretty long and it's kind of hard to tell and read. So 401, 363, 391, 405, 382, 400, oh, there's a group of 5, 381, 399, it's a group of 5, 415 is here, 428 is down there, 422 is also there, 396, 372, 410, 419, 386, and 390. I feel like I screwed up there, so I'm going to make sure that I'm going to count my N here and make sure that I got everything. Well, let's do our frequencies, and then I'll add them up. So I have 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 4, 3, and 1, and I know my N is 30. So if I add those up, 2 and 3 is 5, plus 5 is 10. That makes 15. The 7 and the 3, that's 25, and then 5 is 30. Yep. I'm good. I got it. Okay, cool. So there's my frequency for that set of data. based on the tally columns, based on the intervals that I set up, based on the data that I had, looking at the highest and the lowest, making sure that I had my N. All of that has been done and taken care of. That's our last example for today. So thanks for listening, and work on your practice assignment. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you next time.